Suppose that your car averages 35 miles per gallon on the highway if your average speed is 56 miles per hour. So when you're driving 56 miles per hour, your gas consumption is 34 miles for every 1 gallon. But if you change speed to 69 miles per hour, then your gas consumption is going to be 31 miles per gallon. And that's right here when you're going 69 miles per hour. So the first question is saying if you drive a 1,600-mile trip and you're driving at 56 miles per hour, how long is it going to take for you to complete this trip? And they want the units and hours here. So you start off with what you have, what you know. You know that you're driving 1,600 miles. Now we want to get rid of the miles and end up with hours. So I'm going to use this equivalence here that I'm going to drive 56 miles for every hour to set up my conversion factor here. I'm going to put 56 miles in the denominator so I can cross off the miles. I'm going to put 1 hour on the top. And when I multiply that out, I get 28.6 hours. Now, for part B, it's asking the same question, but we're driving at 69 miles per hour. So we're still driving the same trip of 1,600 miles, but we're traveling at 69 miles per hour now. So instead of having 56 here, I'm going to put in 69 here. So I'm going to have 69 miles in the denominator, so my miles can cross off. And then I'm left with hours. So I just have to do this arithmetic, and I get 23.2 hours. Part C says, assume a gasoline price of $2.96 per gallon. What is the gasoline cost for a 1,600-mile trip if you drive at an average speed of 56 miles per hour? So we need to figure out how many gallons of gas we're going to use on this 1,600-mile trip so that once we figure out the gallons, we can figure out the price for all the gas. Now, we set up at the top, if we have 56 miles per hour, if that's what we're traveling, our gas consumption is 34 miles for every 1 gallon. So I'm going to start off with 1,600 miles, and I'm going to use our gas consumption equivalents to find the number of gallons I'm going to use on this trip. So since I want the miles to cancel, I'm going to put 34 miles in the denominator so these can cancel, and I'm going to have 1 gallon on the top. So this is what I'm left with right now, gallons. But then I want to make sure that I multiply by the cost per gallon, because the ultimate question is, what is the cost of this trip? So I'm going to multiply by $2.96 per gallon. So now the gallons can get crossed off. And when I work out this arithmetic, I get 139 and 139.29. So in part D, it's the same thing as part C, but we're traveling at 69 miles per hour now, which means we're going to use this equivalence for our gas consumption. So I'm going to use 1 gallon for every 31 miles. I'm going to put 31 miles on the bottom so I can cross this off. I'm left with gallons so far, but then I'm going to use the price per gallon to cross off the gallons. And so when we're traveling 69 miles per hour, the cost of this 1,600-mile trip in gas is going to be $152.77.